The weekend began on a positive note for Ferrari as they introduced a bunch of updates, but things took a turn for the worse once qualifying started, and it only went downhill from there. Charles Leclerc received the brunt of the blow, and the chaos even led the Tifosi to urge the Monegasque driver to leave the team. Here's how the Spanish Grand Prix went for Ferrari. Stay tuned. Both Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz were optimistic about a stronger performance in qualifying, aiming to challenge the leading Red Bull team. However, although Sainz smoothly advanced to Q3 and clinched an impressive P2 on the starting grid, Leclerc encountered car issues and disappointingly got eliminated in Q1. Despite facing challenges, Leclerc expressed his surprise at not having enough speed to escape the bottom 5 positions. Immediately after the session ended, Leclerc vented his frustration over the team radio, expressing his discontent, saying, "We are out, right? Unbelievable." As a result, he started Sunday's race from the 19th position. After qualifying, Leclerc said this to the media, "I don't have the answer for now. The only thing I can say is that the left-hand corners were undrivable, and with the right-hand corners, the feeling was very similar to this morning. But there's just something off in the left-hand corners that we need to analyze and understand, because it was very far off what I expected. It was on the rear tires. On the rear tires. I thought it was the tires on the first set, but then we went on the second set and the feeling was exactly the same. I just had no grip at all in the left-hand corners from the rears, so we'll check with the car and I'll be very surprised if everything was fine." Leclerc openly acknowledged his difficulties in maintaining control of his car during the start of qualifying, revealing that he nearly had multiple accidents due to the challenging conditions. He went on to say, "I had so many moments. Even during the first red flag, I nearly lost it and put it in the gravel in a left-hand corner, and this was just very, very weird behavior, so we'll have to check the car." Ferrari made the decision to switch to a different suspension setup for the race, prompting the FIA to intervene and assess the changes. Although the governing body approved the modifications, it resulted in a penalty for the Monegasque driver. The FIA issued a statement regarding this matter. The statement read, "The setup was modified whilst the car was in Parc Fermé with the approval of the technical delegate further to a written request. The suspension setup has been changed from that previously used in qualifying. The competitor is therefore required to start the race from the pit lane per Article 40.9 of the FIA Formula 1 sporting regulations." Ferrari team boss Frédéric Vasseur assured that the team would thoroughly investigate Leclerc's problem to gain a deeper understanding. Vasseur elaborated on the team's approach, emphasizing their commitment to analyzing and addressing the issue. "We are investigating Charles' problem. He was complaining a lot about the car in the left-hand corners. It's a shame, and it shows how close qualifying is now between the teams. In the past, 2 or 3 top teams could get through Q2 on the medium tire, but that's no longer possible as the gaps are so tight and the slightest issue, like the one Charles had today, and you are out." In the Spanish Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc was unable to secure any points after beginning the race from the pit lane. Leclerc expressed his frustration with Ferrari's tire degradation problems, which resulted in significant understeer that he described as crazy during the course of the race. A disastrous weekend for Charles Leclerc at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya ended in him crossing the finish line in 12th place. Following a penalty for Yuki Tsunoda, Leclerc was elevated to 11th, but it provided little solace for the Ferrari driver. Throughout the first 7 races of the season, the Scuderia had encountered challenges with their race pace. Speaking to the media, Leclerc shared his thoughts and elaborated on the team's struggles. "We had the hard, which we expected to be a good tire, but for some reason it was so bad. No grip at all, especially from the front. The limitations were completely different to qualifying, so we were expecting this. But for some reason, we never seem to get into the right window of the tire, and when we do, it is a bit of a surprise to us. There is a lot of work we need to do. The temperature came, but also the graining came more than the temperature, so it was just understeering like crazy." Leclerc currently holds the 7th position in the F1 drivers' standings with 42 points, placing him behind his teammate Carlos Sainz. He also finds himself 128 points behind last year's title rival Max Verstappen. Ferrari has already experienced setbacks in terms of lost points due to incidents and strategic errors. When asked if this weekend marked a low point for him, Leclerc admitted to the challenges he faced. He said, "We have had quite a few disappointing days this year. Unfortunately, it is just in line with the rest of the year." Following yet another strategic error by the Italian team at the recently concluded Spanish Grand Prix, frustrated fans began pleading for Charles Leclerc to part ways with Ferrari. The recurring theme of strategic blunders by Ferrari has been widely debated over the past couple of years and played a significant role in the dismissal of Mattia Binotto. However, it appears that the team has failed to learn from their past mistakes, resulting in Leclerc enduring further setbacks. In the Barcelona race, the Ferrari team failed to align with Leclerc's preferences. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya presents a challenging track with numerous tire strategy possibilities. Unfortunately, Ferrari made the incorrect choice among the available options. Around lap 50, Leclerc's race engineer, Xavier Marcos Padros, instructed him to pit, mentioning that they would switch him to hard tires. Upon hearing this over the radio, Leclerc appeared uncertain about following the given instructions, as he had a different strategy in mind. He told the team over radio, No, let's go for softs, man." Despite hearing Leclerc's hesitation, Xavi still insisted that the 25-year-old driver should come in for his pit stop. However, once Leclerc entered the pits, Xavi informed him that they had decided to equip his SF23 with hard tires. The commotion had the Tifosi enraged, with some of them taking to social media to tell Leclerc to race for a different team given Ferrari's track record of disappointing him. After the race, Leclerc openly shared his feelings about yet another disappointing day at work. According to Scuderia Ferrari's official Twitter, Leclerc described the Spanish Grand Prix as a challenging and disheartening experience for him. "The first stint on the hard went really bad, and we struggled a lot with the front tires. The second stint on the hard was okay, felt a little bit better, but for now, we have a lot of inconsistencies." Other Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz thinks that any progress made in development by Ferrari may not be apparent due to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya being one of their weakest tracks in the Formula 1 season. During the race, Sainz initially challenged for the lead at the opening corner, but shifted his focus to defending against the Mercedes threat. Ultimately, both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell overtook him, followed by the recovering Red Bull of Sergio Perez, leaving Sainz unable to maintain a podium position. In his post-race comments, Sainz said that his drop in the running order after a strong qualifying performance highlighted the significance of his impressive qualifying lap. The Ferrari driver openly admitted that he anticipated facing challenges at the Barcelona circuit, making his qualifying achievement even more noteworthy. He said, "Honestly, I just spent the whole race managing tires, because we know we are very hard on them, and with this high-deg circuit, I just couldn't push. We know it's a weakness of our car, and coming to a high-deg circuit, we were just managing the whole way, trying to make it to the target laps of the stints and still falling short in a few of them. The weaknesses of our car were coming alive on a circuit like this, with high-speed corners and how hard we are on tires. It also shows that qualifying must have been a pretty good lap. I think in the race, we were back to where the car is at the moment on race pace." And that ends yet another disastrous weekend for Ferrari. Will they ever figure it out this season, or do you think they shouldn't hold their breath? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.